All right. So welcome to Resilience and the Embodied Educator, the third part in a three-part series, The Power of Resilience and SEL for Educators with Dr. Simone Kotraba and the Chris Walsh Center. I'm Natalie McCollum, the graduate assistant for the Chris Walsh Center, and shortly I'll introduce Simone Kotraba. Before we begin, I'll read the Chris Walsh Center mission statement, then make a few announcements and provide some info for how tonight's training will run. So our mission, the Chris Walsh Center is here to serve our community by providing information for families and educators about the continuum of educational support available to students with disabilities, students who are gifted, and students with unmet needs. The center offers support, workshops, and other programming for families, educators, student support professionals, administrators, and advocates in Massachusetts. The center also conducts scholarly research and provides educator preparation and professional development. We are able to offer you this incredible three-part series without cost to you. Hold on, we're adding more people. There we go. Without cost to you, thanks to a generous grant from the Sudbury Foundation. As you guys have heard before, much of the work we do is funded through grants, and so we can continue to offer these types of trainings and meet the needs of local families. We would love your input when I give you the survey link at the end of the day, or at the end of our time together. And we will hopefully provide you with some time to fill it out, though we normally end up doing so many wonderful things in our trainings that time can be a little short towards the end. And then moving on for a few small housekeeping items. As in the past, if you would like to receive PDPs for tonight's training, please make sure that your name on Zoom reflects the name you want printed on your PDP certificate. From when you were filling out the registration form. This is how I take attendance, and it's how I match your name to your address to send over to the Department of Graduate Studies and Continuing Education so they can mail you your flyer, or not your flyer, your certificate, your PDP certificate. So if you need to change your name, you just click the three small dots in the top right corner of your image box. There we go. So if you need to change your name, you just click those three small dots and then you can click rename, and that allows me to take attendance. Likewise, for the PDP certificates, like I said, they'll be sent out via snail mail. And for this reason, it's important that we have your physical address. So anybody who's attended in the past, I do have your physical address. But if for some reason you put in your email in the box that said, like, where do you want your PDP sent, we are only sending them out via snail mail. So if you can private message me your address in the chat, or if you're more comfortable, I will provide you with the Chris Walsh Center email just to make sure that you get credit for tonight's training. So this is the last training in this series for the fall 2024 semester. However, we'll be offering 3 more training sessions on SEL for educators during the spring 2025 semester. So please make sure you keep an eye out for our newsletter so you don't miss those offerings once they're announced. And then finally, the last meeting of the fall 2024 caregiver support group is taking place next Thursday at 7:00 p.m. And I'll put a link to register in the chat in case anybody here would benefit from that group. It is drop-in, so it's okay if you have not attended in the past and you feel like you would benefit from attending in the future. And same thing, this is the last one for this term, but we'll have 6 more meetings next semester. So if it's something you can't do now, but you think you'd benefit from in the future, again, just keep an eye out on that newsletter. And then some details for how tonight's event will run. So Dr. Simone Kotraba has done an amazing job designing the event to be experiential. So questions, comments, and interactions are welcome and encouraged. Likewise, if you're able to be on camera, that would be wonderful. Of course, if you aren't able to turn on your camera, that's fine. We'd still love to have you here. Sometimes Simone will invite you to speak out loud, while at other times she'll invite you to respond in the chat. If for any reason you prefer to type your questions and comments, please feel free to put them in the chat and I'll read them for Simone to answer and engage with. And now on to tonight's main event, Resilience and the Embodied Educator. Dr. Simone Kotraba is the founder of Heart Mind Solutions. She's a transformational coach and wellness facilitator who guides individuals and teams on a journey of growth and expansion, helping them unite their hearts and minds. With her lighthearted wisdom and vibrant energy, Simone creates a welcoming and supportive environment for participants to use their strengths and tap into their highest potential. Simone has spent her entire career working with families, teaching, and leading in K-12 and higher education settings. She holds multiple licenses and certifications and is passionate about alleviating human suffering. And now I'll turn it over to Simone.
Welcome, everyone. It's good to see some familiar faces. So happy to see you. Tonight, we are going to do a lot of embodiment because in education, we live here most of the time and we forget that we have a body. So tonight, I'm going to invite you to get in your body. So just play along with me. I like to play because once we're able to deeply get into our body, we're able to source the wisdom that comes from the body, and that helps us to really regulate our emotions and really slow down the inner critic. And that's kind of the purpose of tonight. So look at how we could build resilience through social presence in theater, meaning using the body's wisdom to source new information and create new possibilities for yourself and your students and your families. So we'll just get started with some breathing. We'll do some rhythmic breathing a little bit faster than we did previously. And then we'll get into some slower breathing where we'll get into the heart, and then we'll set our intention for tonight. And then we'll get into moving our bodies and sourcing some wisdom. Are you ready for that? Give me a thumbs up. All right. So when you're ready, just find a spot that's comfortable for you. If it's sitting, standing, whatever it is that works best for you. And just notice the surface that you're either standing on or sitting on. Notice the support that you're getting, right? Oftentimes we forget that Mother Earth is holding us, right? And we're just floating. But I want you to really be grounded and notice how you're sitting and what's holding you. If you're standing, what you're standing on, just notice that you're being held by Mother Earth. And when you're ready, I'm going to invite you just to start with some slow breath. So inhale through the nose, exhale through the mouth, inhale through the nose, exhale through the mouth. On your own, 2 deep inhale and exhales, and feel it in your stomach. Feel that belly rise and fall. And now I'm going to guide you through a little bit faster breathing because we want to really get the oxygen flowing in our body and get to our brain. So when I guide you through a faster pace, we're going to breathe in and out. So, and if this is available for you, if this is not available for you and you're not comfortable, that's okay. You can just go at your pace. But if it is available and you're willing to try, I'm going to invite you to move at the pace that I'm going to be guiding. Okay, so go at the pace that works for you if this faster pace is not available to you. So on 3, so 1, 2, 3, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, a little bit faster, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, 2 more, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. And now just allow your breath to slow down. Now we're going to go ahead and move into box breathing. So we're going to inhale for 4 and hold, exhale for 4 and hold. And I'll guide you through that process. So in 3, we'll go ahead and start. So in 3, 2, 1. Inhale, hold, exhale, hold, inhale, hold, exhale, hold, inhale, hold, exhale, hold. 2 more, inhale, hold, exhale, hold. 1 more, inhale, hold, exhale, hold. And now slowly allow your breath to come back to its normal breathing pace. Just notice what's happening. Notice how you're sitting. Notice the breath as it readjusts to its normal resting breath. Now I'm going to invite you, if this is available to you, to bring your attention to your heart space. And just imagine your breath is flowing in and out of the heart or chest area. Just breathing a little slowly and deeply in and out of the heart or chest. Find a rhythm that feels comfortable for you. As you continue heart-focused breathing, just activate a feeling of calm or ease and breathe that in and out of the heart space. When the mind wanders, just bring it back to the heart space. On the next inhale and exhale, slowly bring your attention back to the space. So hopefully you're feeling a lot more energized, and that's a practice when you're feeling tired or overwhelmed, exhausted. You can breathe in a little bit faster, rapid breathing, and that allows you to just change your state, change your physiology a lot quicker. Sometimes when we're feeling overwhelmed and exhausted and we're breathing slowly, it doesn't shift our physiology as quickly, but when you do it faster, it really shifts your autonomic nervous system, and then your brain becomes available to make better decision because it synchronizes and you're able to use the neocortex for executive functioning and really see what's happening. So moving a little bit faster with the breath can help you change your mood. So we're going to move into setting our intention for tonight. If you have a piece of paper, if you could just grab a piece of paper and something to write with. If you don't have paper or something to write with, you could write on your phone. Because sometimes, I do that. You could use your notepad on your phone to just write. So just I'll give you a few moments to grab something. When you have something, just give me a thumbs up so I know I can move on. Thank you. And if you're not on camera, you can just give a virtual thumb so I could see your virtual thumb as well. So we're going to set our intention. So just on on here, we have intention setting, right? So you can just take a quick look at the list that I have here. If anything speaks to you, that's totally fine. If nothing speaks to you, that's fine. You could think of something. What do you want your time here to be tonight? What do you want your experience here to be? So one or two of these you can choose, or something that pops into your mind, okay? So just take a moment to reflect and write down what's your intention for tonight. And if you're not able to see the slides, so we have accountability, you can think about being caring, collaborative, committed, confident, and creative, any of these. Open-minded, resourceful, respectful. So now that you have your intention, I'm going to invite you back into the heart space, and we're going to bring that intention into your heart space. Anything that we practice here, it's a tool that you can take into your day-to-day life, right? So just imagine your intention is floating off the paper and floating into your heart space. You could keep your eyes open or closed, whatever feels comfortable for you. So bring that intention into your heart space. And just imagine it's floating in as you breathe in that intention into your heart. And imagine, what does that intention look like, sound like, and feel like? So embody the sound of the intention that you chose, the feel, and also what it looks like. So bring that into the heart space as you breathe it in slowly and deeply. And just embody that intention. And the next inhale and exhale, bring your attention back to the space. Now that you've created your intention and you have embodied that into your heart space, I'm going to invite you in a moment. Natalie will create a breakout room. So about three in triads. And in the breakout room, each person will have about 60 seconds to share their intention. Feel free, if you want to share, we welcome. If not, that's okay. But it's okay to be there and hold space while others share. So about 60 seconds each. So about 3 minutes for each group to share. And at the end, you can appreciate your partners for sharing any wisdom, any insight that you receive from that interaction. Okay? Have I created any questions? Okay. All right, Natalie, whenever you're ready, have fun and just enjoy meeting a familiar face or a new face. So I'm excited to hear at least from two voices to share out into the room. We want to harness the wisdom in our community. So I would love to hear either your intention or what you appreciated about connecting with a colleague.
Hi, it's Victoria. We were
Hi,
just
Victoria.
on group one and we were just chatting how we're in the rush like of the end of the year. We're just like appreciating the opportunity to stay like present, to slow down a little bit, like getting through it, but also being present through it. And I think we were all on the same page that like end of the year is happening. There's a lot going on, but we're able to like stop and like think and then run through our feelings.
Yes, thank you, Victoria. Appreciate that. Appreciate you bringing that to the room. We need to be present, and thank you for that, because that's allowing me to even be more present with you. So thank you. Anyone else? You can unmute and go ahead and speak. Iris, I'm not able to hear you.
No, I can speak. I was just going like that to Miss Silva because I thought she was going to speak.
Oh, okay. You're volunteering?
No, so basically she was in my group. And I think her and I both reported out, said the same thing. We both selected focus. I said that I need to focus more because that way, if you allow yourself to get sidetracked, you're not getting as much done. So I'm not going home at the time that I should. I'm spending more time at work because I guess I allowed distractions or didn't prioritize or didn't set goals. And we were just kind of talking on that, it was, we were having some similar um, situation. And the other gentleman, I think, selected mindfulness, which was very key. We were like, oh yeah, all of us. That sometimes, being mindful of everything around us to keep us kind of grounded and more aware of everything, our reactions, how we, interact with one another. So it was nice talking to them.
Beautiful. Thank you. I appreciate that, because yeah, when we're doing mindfulness and doing any of these practices, they're building our concentration and our muscles, right? It's like working out. So the more you're able to practice, the more you're able to stay focused and you can concentrate, and that clarity about what you need to get done, right? Without being distracted. So thank you for bringing that to the room. So now we're going to move into a practice called the stuck practice. And in our culture, in our society, we think stuck is a bad thing, right? How many people have, when you're feeling stuck, you feel like, oh, it's really bad. I'm stuck. I don't know what to do. I've been there, right? So I'm learning that stuck is not a bad thing. When we're in a place of we're feeling stuck, that means there's something trying to emerge. There's something new that wants to be born. But in that stuckness, it's a nice juicy place to be because there is things that's coming out of your stuckness, right? Whether it's an emotional stuck or a thought pattern of stuckness or physical stuckness or actions that you're stuck in, there's something percolating there. There's a gift in that stuck that we could use to harness what's trying to emerge. So I'm going to demonstrate for you, and this is an embodiment practice. And it's about feeling into the body, right? So first, when you're doing this practice, right, you allow yourself to just take a moment to just stand on Mother Earth. Know that you're being held by Mother Earth. You're not alone. You're being supported. And you're going to feel into your body. And you're not thinking about being stuck. You're not thinking or acting or miming or pretending. You're just feeling into the body and feeling where you're feeling stuck. And you're going to allow your body to move. So where in your life, your work, where are you feeling stuck personally or professionally? Where are you feeling stuck? And then you're going to be generous and hold the stuck for a few moments so your partner could see. So that's an example of stuck, right? So first we're going to practice stuck with a partner, then we'll come back and talk about our stuck, and then we'll go into what's trying to emerge from our stuck. Does that make sense? So we're going to invite you just to be playful, just to feel into it, and just be generous with your partner. So we will give you about, so hopefully we could do just partners, Natalie, just partners. And then whoever's at the head or the heart who wants to go first can go first. So about 60 seconds each. So you'll have 2 minutes in the breakout room where you're going to stand up, not speaking to your partner. You're going to stand up and move in where your partner can see you into where you're feeling stuck, whatever that is for you. And you're going to hold it. Then you'll sit down. Right? And then your partner will say, I saw or I felt, right? So after you go, your partner will say, I saw, I felt, right? Then when the partner shares, then you can share what I felt or I did. And then the partner will go do the stuck, and then the other partner will say, I saw or I felt. So then you're just briefly reflecting, not too much of the mental chatter, right? Just the felt sense. Does that make sense? No thinking here. All right. Thank you. I would love to hear at least 2 to 3 voices to share out what was that experience like for you, right? Embodying that stuck. What was that like for you? So you can unmute and share.
I would just like to, if I can, appreciate that Joe, I think that was his name, Joe, he gave me the space to wait, and he was very gracious, and gave me some really great pointers and things with dealing with empty space. We don't always have to fill our empty space, and very nice. I loved it, and that was incredibly helpful for me at this moment. So thank you.
Likewise. Thank you, Anita.
Yes, thank you both. I appreciate you both. Yes, thank you for sharing that. Yes. Who's next? Two more voices just to share. What was that experience like for you? Was it challenging to get into your stuff, to feel into your stuff? Did you find yourself wanting to think, problem solve? What was it like?
On group 5, we talk a lot about the areas that we feel most stuck, and I thought it was interesting that both of us, two of us in the group, we felt that one of our literally stuck coping mechanisms is that we stop breathing sometimes when we're anxious or nervous, and then we only realize when we go and take a deep breath and realize we were like, wait a minute, I was holding my breath this whole time. And then we're like, oh yeah, and sometimes it's hard to realize at the moment that we're not breathing.
Absolutely, Victoria. Yes. I see heads nodding, so I think we're all in agreement. Yes. Anyone else? What emerged for you in your stuck practice? If you want to put that in the chat too, remember you can always do that if you don't feel like talking in the mic, right? You can always put it in the chat. All right, so no one else is okay, that's fine. So yeah, so now we're going to play around with our stuck and then we're going to move into what's trying to emerge. And we'll do it, if you don't feel comfortable doing it on the big camera with all of us watching, I'll guide you through the stuck, right? Moving from stuck to what's trying to emerge. And then once we have what's trying to emerge, we'll land there and then move into having a dialogue about what's trying to emerge. Okay, so if you're comfortable staying on camera, showing you're stuck, that's totally fine. If not, you can turn your camera off. Okay, so I'm going to invite you now to go back into your stuck. Move back into what was stuck for you physically in your body. So move back into your stuck. So I'm going to move back into my stuck. And once you're in your stuck, just stay there for a moment. And if you notice any thoughts, just allow those thoughts to just come and go. Do not try to push them away or engage with them. Just allow them to be while you focus on your stuck. So remember, we can't stay stuck forever. The body wants to move. Now bring your attention to your breath. Notice how you're breathing in that stuck place. Now allow the body to move to what's trying to emerge. What is trying to emerge from that stuck place? So allow the body to move, moving slowly into what's future possibility is trying to emerge for you. Any thoughts arises, just keep focusing on the body. Focus on your breath. If the mind's chattering, and move into what's emerging for you. And once you get to a point where you're complete, you can just hold it. When you're complete, just hold it for a moment and notice from head to toe what's here right now. And notice if there's a word or a phrase that's coming from the stuck. If there's a word or phrase that's coming, just take a moment to just jot it down. A word or a phrase, just jot it down. And once you have your word or phrase, I'm going to invite you to come back on camera. And then you can take a seat. And find your breath for a moment. And we're just going to hold while you're breathing slowly and deeply inside the heart space. Just going to hold a moment of silence here while we sit with what we have. Now I'll invite you to type your word or phrase in the chat that came to you. So what word or phrases that came to you? Just take a moment to just type it in the chat. Integration, slowing down, relaxation, let go. Relax, free, it's okay. Thank you for sharing that. What wisdom that is emerging here. Breathe and stay with it. Beautiful, beautiful. So whatever emerged for you today, it's an invitation to play around with stuck, right? Play around with moving the body into the place where it might feel stuck, and allow your inner wisdom to come forth. Because based on neuroscience, the research is showing us that the heart has a second brain. 90% of the information comes from the brain and the heart up to the cranial brain, only 10% from the cranial brain down to the body, down to the heart. So if we're able to harness what's in the body, it allows the cranial brain to function a lot better. It allows for the brain to work better, to synchronize. So we're not in the back of the brain, we're in the midbrain where it's love and belonging and connection. And then we're moving to our frontal part of the brain where we're able to make better decisions and be more effective, right? When we're in the midbrain, we connect to each other. We feel a sense of community, we feel nourished, we feel resilient, and we can nourish and nurture each other when we're in that space. Does that make sense for anyone? Yeah, makes sense. Thank you. So the next practice I'm going to invite you into, it's going to be very playful. And I did this with high schoolers yesterday, and they loved it. So it's still moving into the body, but the next practice will be copying a partner. So you'll be with a partner, and you're going to just move your body however you feel like moving your body. Just tuning into your body, noticing what you want to do. You may want to be playful, dancing around, and your partner will be copying you, copying that movement, right? And then, you know, the other person might change that movement. So you're just going to be moving. The other person may change it, and you copy the other person, and you're going to just keep moving your body however you feel it needs to move, and you're just going to be copying each other. And at some point, we'll see what emerges out of this experience. Okay, so we'll do this for about and then about 3 minutes. We'll give you 3 minutes just to play around and move your body and engage with each other. And then when you're finished, again, instead of going into a mental dialogue, I'm going to encourage you to share, I felt, I saw, right? Just use those words, I felt, I saw, because we want to get in touch with our emotional body. That's why we're doing the embodiment. Does that make sense? Not the thinking mind, but the emotional body. We want to connect to that. All right, so about 3 minutes to connect with each other. Thank you.
I learned a new thing. I can automatically add people so that way Christy wasn't left out. And then I put her in our one group of 3 so that 2 people can be moving and mirroring, and at least she gets the chance to like see and participate. So hopefully
Oh, that's
that will
so
go well.
brilliant.
for
Yes.
everybody.
Yes, that's brilliant. Yes, and at least she can just reflect with them.
Yes,
Or hold
you can do
space.
the I saw part, right?
Yes, I saw, yes, or I felt, whatever the, yes. Yeah,
Yeah, so hopefully that works well.
yes.
It was funny. I actually already had 3 minutes in there because I had previously, when I reset the groups, I knew there'd be one of 3. And so I was like, well, I'm just going to set it to 3 minutes. And then you said it. And I was like,
Yes, however you set the time, I'm fine. Sometimes I'm too ambitious thinking that it needs less time, but sometimes you need more time. Yeah. And
So, yeah, so it says Anne's iPhone. Do we want to, we've got about 40 minutes left. Do we want to admit? Okay.
and then you could just put in a room.
Hello, Anne. We just started some breakout rooms for people who they're doing a movement practice. Would you like to be put in a room, or do you want to like have a minute to settle in first?
Oh, I appreciate that. Thank you. How far into the breakout room are they? They just start?
Just started, about a minute.
Yeah. I'll go into one if that's okay with you.
Yeah, sounds great. I'll go ahead and put you in a room.
Awesome. Thanks.
There we go.
That was perfect. You're so good, Natalie. Oh my God, I appreciate you.
Thank you. I do want to make sure I had sent the person CG, I sent them a private message to ask for them to give me their full name because I think they came in the middle of that announcement. So I do want to make sure I get a chance to ask them because they haven't answered the private message. I want them to get their certificate.
So maybe we'll leave time for that.
Yeah,
make
I'll
sure
do
it's
it towards
reminded.
the end. I think I'm just naming it because I also just saw, Anne's iPhone. I just want to make sure I have people's info. So yeah, that way there's no lost certificates or anything.
Yeah.
After the first one, we got a lot of emails of like, what's happening with this? So that's why I think I'm a little more like trying to make sure everybody knows exactly what to expect. All right. And they've got, I had set 15-second countdown, so they've got about 30 seconds total left. So oh, yeah, okay, there we go. Close off.
Time goes fast, huh?
Sorry, I agreed. I was just muted. I admitted that.
Welcome back. I think everyone's here. Thank you. Of course, we want to always harness the wisdom that has been shared in the breakout room, because that's how we build community, that's how we build resiliency, and that's how we could embody what others have harnessed from the breakout room. So I would love to hear some voices. I'm going for 2 or 3 voices to share out loud. What emerged for you in the breakout room? Who or what you want to appreciate? Let's bring it. I'm ready.
Well, I again want to appreciate the people that I was with in the breakout room and just them letting me stretch because my shoulders are killing me, and I think we agreed that yes, it's great to stretch. We have, as teachers, we're so concentrating on what we're doing. I feel like everything settles like on my shoulders, and so thank you for letting me stretch.
Yay! Yes. Stretching is good. Yes. Jennifer, I see you smiling.
To be honest, I was just saying that I'm here sick, tired,
Oh,
but already feeling better. I mean, it's just being with, I think, like-minded people and knowing you're not alone in the struggle, even though you know it, just hearing it is wonderful, you know.
thank you for that. I hope this nourishes you back to health. Yes, thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah. All right, Joe, I'm calling on you.
That's
Leave me no
fair.
choice here.
That's fair. That's fair. I with Jennifer and Ann, I think we were talking about self-care, and this is part of self-care, right? So it feels like you're coming in after the rhythm and then you're shifting, and it feels like self-care. We were in rhythm in a softer way because, right, so Jennifer was feeling a certain way, so we just kind of read that, and that's what we did, and it made sense. So that
Yeah.
was the other part of this, right, is the rhythm that
Mhm.
you find the other person with, and then you sort of adapt with it and go with it, right?
Yes, yes. Thank you for bringing that forth. Absolutely. When I worked with the high schoolers yesterday, some of the takeaways, they said it felt like one mind, one body. Uh,
Mm,
they started synchronizing with each other. Yes.
mm,
And that's what happens, right? Emotional contagion. It's real. There's a lot of research about this, right? That we can measure that at least three meters from the heart, I believe. That emotional connection. And if you're feeling a certain emotion, the other parties in your group can feel that emotion as well. So when we're practicing these in a school setting, in a home setting, you're impacting the environment and the people around you. So it's called co-regulation. So we could co-regulate with the other people. So if you're working with somebody who's always like, right, you can bring them down by moving into your body, right, and breathing slowly and deeply, and you can allow them to, you can co-regulate. With the students that you work with, same thing. You can go get into your heart space, breathing slowly and deeply, and you're co-regulating. You're creating what we call the field around your body and around their body. So that one field that we all share. Does that make sense? And this research is through the Heart Math Institute, a lot of that research measuring the emotional contagion and connection that we all have with each other, that sense of belonging. And Maslow will talk about it, right? Once we have our basic needs met, right, we get to belonging, right? Midbrain, love and care. And that's where we move into that space of connection and nourishing ourselves. So thank you.
Simone, do you mind if I offer another fun one that might be good to do with people's students?
Yes, offer. Yes, yes.
So at my work the other day, we did one that was like almost like musical chairs, but they played music, and then you picked one of at first it was 3 greetings, and then we upped it to 4. So you would either, when the music stopped, you would smile at the other person, you would wave at the other person, or you could hug, which in a school setting you might do like a high five or something. And then the last option that was added like during the second round was like to like say no, right? To like put up that boundary and say like I actually don't want to do the thing. And kind of exactly what you're talking about with that contagion, I like so quickly noticed that like if like my partner waved with 2 hands, then I was waving with 2 hands. It was really fun and really enjoyable, and I could see that being like a really nice way to like engage with with younger folks as well. So
Absolutely. Yeah. So the next practice we'll move into before we move into the next practice, we'll do some more breathing and just getting connected into the heart space. So eyes open for this one because I want you to be able to do it on the move when you're moving in your environment. Sometimes we don't have time to go and close our eyes and do breathing exercises, right? Let's be real here. So in your everyday world, I want you to be able to practice with eyes open. So if you want to stand, sit, move while you're doing it, that's highly encouraged, because when you're in schools, you want to be able to have practices that you could just do when you're moving around, okay? So you could choose your adventure, how you want to move as I guide you through the practice, okay? So when you're ready, just bring your attention back to the heart space. We're building your resiliency. We're releasing 1,400 chemicals when we do this practice in your body. Few of them oxytocin, melatonin, serotonin, dopamine. We want to get the neurochemicals in your body moving. So bring your attention to your heart. Just imagine the breath is flowing in and out of the heart or chest area. Breathing a little slowly and deeply. Now I'm going to invite you to think of a time in your life where you felt nourished, cared for, you felt resilient, you felt unstoppable. So just bring that image to mind. Who was with you? What were you doing? The feelings that you were feeling. Be there now in that space. Notice the texture that you experience. Bring in all your senses. Any smells, if it was the ocean, bring that in. Whatever it was, bring it in. The time where you were teaching or leading. What do you hear people saying? What do you hear yourself saying? Just bring all of that in. And breathe that in the heart space. I'm going to invite you to take that image and just wrap it in a feeling, whether it's appreciation or care or compassion for that situation. Bring that feeling into the heart and breathe that feeling in slowly and deeply. And now imagine that feeling is spreading from your head to your toes. Imagine that feeling is permeating every cell of your body, nourishing and nurturing you. And now send that feeling out to someone that you care about. Just imagine that's flowing out of your heart to someone that you care about. Could be a pet or a person or even something that you enjoy. Just send that feeling out. Now, imagine that feeling is flowing out of your heart space to everyone on this call. Just send it out to everyone here. On the next inhale and exhale, bring your attention back to this space. Move your body, wiggle your fingers, move your body and bring it back to the space. Welcome back. Welcome back. Hopefully that was nourishing and nurturing to you. Now we're going to move into a reflection and then some playful movement. Maybe we'll do our playful movement before we do our reflection. Yeah, let's do that. So I'm going to invite you, if you could be on camera, I would love to see you. We're going to create a sculpture of this whole group, right? So we're going to go back into the embodiment, and we're going to, in our, as best as we can in our camera view, we're going to stand up as a group. We're going to hold our space on Mother Earth, and then we're going to just create a sculpture. So a gesture, a sculpture of what your body wants to do, what wants to emerge right now, right here. And we'll do it all as a group, and then we'll do a reflection around that. Does that work for everyone? Right, so so what we'll do is I'll start, and then Natalie will go, right? And then I'll start. Once I'm stopped, Natalie will go, and then once she's stopped, someone else will go. So we'll just get up in, order and go, okay? And now I'm going to invite you. Go ahead. And now we'll say one word that's emerging from this sculpture that we've just created. So I'll start. Care.
Connected.
Beautiful.
Gentle.
Hearted.
Inviting.
I think of surrender.
Right, we could let our sculpture go. Now we'll just sit for a moment in silence, and then we'll reflect. Okay, so I'll open it up for reflection now. So I saw or I felt, right? So we're not going to think too much. We're just going to say, I saw, I felt. Okay, so I'll open it up to you to go ahead and start. Anyone can unmute and start.
I sort of saw or felt people giving gifts to other people, gifts of caring or gentleness or openness, or that's what I felt.
Jennifer said, I saw a little magic in the movement.
So you could also put it in the chat if you don't want to speak out loud. So you can put it in the chat as well. That's always an option.
I felt playful. CG said, I felt a calming wave.
Felt like an extension.
Anne said, part of something.
I felt connection.
Christy said, camaraderie.
Beautiful. Thank you. Thank you for sharing that. That's beautiful. And these are simple embodiment practices that the words that you all shared, right? That is nourishing, that's renewing, and that is resilience, right? All those words that you share, all that you felt, all that you sense, those are all the things that embody resiliency, where we could prepare for and work together and move forward as educators. And simple things that you can do with your students as well. It's very powerful. So I'm hoping that you will take some of what we're learning here and bring it into your day-to-day life with your family, your friends, and the people that you serve. Okay, I'm going to move into another. So we talked about our future possibility, and now that we've spent some time together practicing, and being in community, I want to look at. Pull up the slide. There we go. Right. We see the bird. Sometimes we feel stuck in the cage, like, the tortoise was on the back, right? Now we're free birds flying. So future possibilities. We're going to reflect on what's possible for us, right? How could we move into our life with these new techniques that we're learning? So this reflection is looking at, so grab something to write on, write with, and we're going to do a little reflection. On over the next 3 months, right? If you were to move towards your future possibilities, what task, project, or opportunities could you lean into? So if you're not able to see the slide, I'll read it again. So the reflection here is, over the next 3 months, if you were to move towards future possibilities, moving from that stuck place, right? What task, projects, or opportunities could you lean into? And it could be any of the things that you've learned, anything that's percolating for you. I'll give you about 90 seconds to just jot down a few things that's percolating for you. And then I'm going to move to the next question that I have here, right? So what's one gift that you want to share with the world in 2025? What's one gift that you want to share with the world in 2025? Could be more than one, it could be many gifts, but you can choose one or a few. And you can wrap up your thoughts. And then if you're not finished, that's okay. That's something you could take back into your day tomorrow when you have some more time to reflect on. But whatever you have right now is totally fine. I'm just going to invite you into our final breakout room for the evening. So maybe groups of threes, Natalie, just to reflect and share what you wrote down, right? So what opportunities can you see emerging, right, for your future? What gifts you want to share? Any of those you can just share with your group. And remember to share what wisdom you've learned from your group, or what you appreciated from the group, okay? Because when we appreciate, right? That grows. Whatever we appreciate grows. And the research shows that appreciation is a powerful emotion that really, activates the brain, and it's 700 times more powerful than other emotions, right? That's just a little fact from the Heart Math Institute. So when we appreciate things, it grows. That means we value that, okay? So about 3 minutes in groups of 3s in breakout room to share the gifts, their greatest gifts.
All right, I've got the room set up. You'll have 3 minutes and then like the 15-second countdown, and it'll automatically put everybody in your room, so you don't need to do anything. And off you go.
I think everyone's back. Beautiful. Yay. All right, welcome back. So I would love to hear at least 2 voices sharing out before we close for the evening. We want to harness the gifts that you have to share with the world and your future possibilities. So I would love for you to unmute and put it in the chat, right? So maybe put some in the chat, unmute. If you don't want to speak, you can put it in the chat.
I just want to honor Jennifer for we were having a conversation, me, her, and Joe, and I was just telling her that she had the gift of authenticity, which is a really good one. That she just felt at the moment that there wasn't coming any gift, and I was like, wow, that is a gift that you're saying right now, because you're not trying to force yourself into sharing something, and you're remaining like authentic to yourself.
Yes. Thank you for that. Thank you for appreciating Jennifer, Victoria. That's beautiful. Exactly. Come as you are. We accept you, and you are being yourself. And I love that. Thank you. All right. Anyone else want to unmute and share or put it in the chat?
Anne said, commit to this type of self-care weekly and listen to others more effectively.
Thank you, Anne. All right.
And Anita shared, remember to slow down, and it's okay to do less and not feel guilty about it.
Yes, absolutely. Agree with that. Beautiful. Thank you. Well, I want to take this moment just to appreciate all of you for playing with me. I found my people. So thank you. Enjoy the holiday seasons, and I appreciate you taking the time and playing full on. And I'll pass it over to Natalie for final announcements.
Thank you. I'm just grabbing our always mentioned survey here to put in the chat for you guys. We do have a little bit of time to fill it out, so if you want to take the last few minutes that we're together to do so. That said, I'll still do our closing announcements so that once we sign off, you guys are welcome to finish up the survey and head out. Of course, like I said in the beginning, it's really important as far as us continuing to be able to get funding for these amazing events. We use what you share to both plan events and to, apply and kind of get to tell people like, this is what the impact we're making, and this is what we're seeing with the communities we're serving. So it really matters a lot to us when you guys take the time to fill out the surveys. And then other than that, as always, thank you, Simone. That was so enriching and so fun to be a part of. I really appreciate you putting all the work into this event. And then thank you all for your engagement in resilience and the Embodied Educator. And thank you again for taking your time to join us tonight. Your participation in these events and the work you do out in the world with this information that you learn is how we make change in our communities and serve the young people who rely on our care to the best of our ability. And we, as always, we recognize your dedication to yourselves and to your students, your families, and the people that you serve. And, again, as always, we can't make a positive impact without you. It really matters that you're here. And so thank you again, and we hope that you have a great night.
Yes, and thank Natalie, gracious co-host, for being flexible and being here, holding us all together. So let's send her some love. Thanks, Natalie.
Thank you, Natalie. Thank you, Simone. Thank you, folks.
Thank you so,
Really
so
great.
much. Have a
Appreciate
wonderful end of the year.
Yeah,
Have a
thank
great
you.
break. Take care,
You
Simone.
guys in the
I'll
new
look up.
year.
Take
Yes.
care. I'll look it up. Bye.
Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Take care.